Childhood experiences growing up with narcissists playing the role of parent may have blinded us to a vital truth. Malignant narcissists are selfish and frightened individuals. Narcissists are cowards. It's only natural, even in adulthood, to look upon the monsters who mercilessly terrorized us when we were kids and view them as larger than life, loud, fearless, and all-powerful human beings. Nothing could be further from the truth. If we could peek into the inner chambers of the malignant narcissist's soul, we would discover a coward with the spiritual and emotional development of a toddler. We would discover a worm. Narcissists are guilty of the most egregious act of cowardice possible for any human being to commit. They have abandoned the responsibilities inherent with submission and accountability to their own God-given conscience. The things required to stay true to the moral compass that's been placed in every man's heart scares them. The reality within, which is the only true reality, scares them. Honest self-assessment, honest self-realization, honest interpretation of life, honest interpretation of who one is, honest interpretation of what one is. These are the things that terrify the malignant narcissist. Narcissists are afraid of their true self. They dread dedication to something or someone greater than themselves. Narcissists want the glory of man all to themselves. They want the praise of man all to themselves. They want the honor of man all to themselves. Narcissists want to look all wise and act all wise. They want to be all wise in the eyes of others. And to lose this delusion, to lose this self-aggrandizing dream of being the all-knowing, all-powerful one, terrorizes the malignant narcissist on the deepest of levels. This illusion of grandiosity and entitlement become a psychological security blanket for the narcissist in his all-consuming quest to flee reality. Reality scares the narcissist. When I say reality, I am not talking about natural, material reality. I am talking about what the scripture, I am not talking about what the scripture calls the world. That's not what I'm talking about. We have discovered many, if not most, narcissists function quite beautifully within the sphere of physical, material, man-made reality. The reality that is this material world and the things of which it consists, things that gratify the physical senses, things that gratify the greedy longings of the mind, the things that gratify the ego. These are anything but distressing to the narcissist. And no less than the scripture teaches that narcissists will do quite well in this temporal reality that has been built on worldly, man-made systems. We can read about it in Psalms. These are the ungodly who always prosper and are at ease in the world. They increase in riches. No, most narcissists are anything but afraid of this artificial, temporal reality that we call the world. Most narcissists fearlessly embrace this reality. Many narcissists thrive in this reality. And this is the reason so many narcissists become financially and socially successful. The reality that the narcissist fears is not of this world. It is an inner thing. It is an unseen thing, at least to the eyes of men. And this is the reality quashed by the narcissist, often from early childhood. It is the sense of accountability to one greater than one's self. It is the sense of accountability to an ideal or a truth greater than oneself. This reality that the narcissist fears and silences exists inside his or her own personal self. Acknowledgement of this inner reality dampens and bridles the narcissist's desire to fulfill the lusts of his or her imaginations. Acknowledgement of this inner reality spawns feelings of guilt and remorse inside the narcissist, as he or she imagines a world where she reigns supreme over circumstances and over other people. These feelings terrify the narcissist. The fear we are discussing manifested itself at an early age in most, if not all, malignant narcissists. The prospect of not getting my way, not getting what I want, not getting what I believe is mine, petrifies the narcissist, young and old. The narc does not like the reality that's inside, gnawing at her insides, communicating to her on an inexpressible level that we don't always get to eat ice cream when we want to. We don't always get the toy when mommy takes us shopping. We don't get to torment baby brother for fun. We don't lie in order to get away with stealing a cookie from the cookie jar. Not getting one's way. This is what terrifies the narcissist so, young and old alike. Consequently, the inner reality that contests the narcissist's willfulness, it becomes enemy more than friend. The narcissist hardens his heart to the impulses of this reality within. And as his heart consistently remains hardened, things issued forth from this inner reality go dormant. In time, the malignant narcissist grows to loathe and despise reality. Seeing others honor their own personal reality serves only to enrage the narcissist. And it's perfectly understandable why. The utter self-centered and petty cowardice of the malignant narcissist came to the fore the moment they recognized one who was not afraid to follow their own inner truth. Cowards detest and will seek to destroy anything or anyone exposing the actual quality of manhood or womanhood abiding within themselves. Let's look at some scripture here. The Lord said to Moses, "Send men to explore and scout out for yourself the land of Canaan, which I give to the Israelites." So Moses, by command of the Lord, sent scouts. And they returned from scouting out the land after 40 days. They told Moses, "We came to the land which you sent us." Sure, did you notice you sent us? Anyway, surely it flows with milk and honey. But the people who dwell there are strong, and the cities are fortified and very large. Now Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, "Let us go up at once and possess it. We are well able to conquer it." So they, 8 of the 10 scouts, brought the Israelites an evil report of the land which they had scouted out, saying, "The land through which we went to spy it out is a land that devours its inhabitants. and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. There we saw the Nephilim, sons of Enoch, who come from the giants. We were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. And all the congregation cried out with a loud voice and wept that night. All the Israelites grumbled and deplored their situation, accusing Moses and Aaron, to whom the whole congregation said, "Would that we had died in Egypt! Would that we had died in this wilderness!" And they said to one another, "Let us choose a captain and return to Egypt." And all the congregation said to stone Joshua and Caleb, who were the scouts with a good report, with stones. Let's execute them. Here we see a most graphic picture of cowardice. God was the one giving the instructions to scout the land. God was the one stating in no uncertain terms He had given them this land. God was not asking the Israelites to determine for themselves whether the land was ripe for taking or not. He sent them to scout the land so they could witness firsthand what was already theirs for the taking. But the majority did not see it that way. The majority saw obstacles that they had no stomach to overcome. The majority perceived they would be required to dig deep within themselves in order to exercise the faith necessary to follow and obey a higher power. The idea of laying aside what seemed expedient in favor of doing what was right proved more than their timid souls could bear. The responsibilities inherent with faith. The responsibilities inherent with trusting one greater than oneself, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, scared these folks far more than the giants. They did not have to exercise faith for much while dwelling in Egypt. There wasn't much of anything to muster courage for as a slave to the Egyptian. And they really didn't have to look deep within themselves for much of anything in Egypt. They simply existed. Much like the narcissists that we know today. Narcissists exist. They don't live. Now, for those of us struggling simply to survive, and I'm speaking materially, observing a narcissist prosper in the world does make it tempting to think we are the ones existing while they are the ones living. But this is not the case. The narcissist's life is a perpetual cycle of cowardice. A cowardice that has cut them off from actual life. Cowardice is what causes one to forego drinking from the divinely imparted wellspring within. What little spiritual water the narcissist is able to secure must be siphoned from the wells of others. Wells fought for and controlled with an iron fist. Cowardice prevents the narcissist from conquering the giants within himself. She may drive a Mercedes and eat caviar, but her inner self, her true self, is paranoid, a shriveled, starved baby with the spiritual aptitude of a 3-year-old. His accounts at First Bank may contain millions, but his inner account is a dark and moldy cavern. Why? It's because of his cowardice. It's because of his fear to step into that dark, moldy cavern that exists on the inside with a spiritual flashlight, so as to take inventory of the reality that's within. He is like the person described by Jesus in the book of Revelation. You say, "I am rich. I have prospered and grown wealthy, and I am in need of nothing." And you do not realize and understand that you are wretched. You are pitiful. You are poor, blind, and naked.